In this video, we're going to learn how a case management entity creates a plan of care and authorizations, and then how a provider bills against those authorizations and claims get created. I'm logged in as a CDDP user, and depending on your role, you may not be able to do everything in this video, but it shows you what's happening in the background for authorizations, billings, and claims. For our case management entity users, you can go to Plan of Care, and then search for the plan of care that you'd like to open. I know the prime number of my individual, so I'll enter it here, and then I'll select Find. From the results list, I'll open up the most recent plan of care that begins on 5/1/2025. Now this is an example of what a plan of care looks like in Express. There's other videos that show in detail how to navigate through the plan of care, but in this video, I can quickly see that there are two services here. There's attendant care, and then there's transportation. I'm going to look at the attendant care service. So I'll click the service area, in-home services, and now I see two authorizations for this individual. Let's take a look at what a service prior authorization looks like. I'm going to open up this authorization, and here I can see the details of what's authorized for this individual. I see details about the individual themselves, who the provider is that's delivering the service. I can see the date range that this provider is authorized to deliver services, and I can also see here the rates section. Clicking this shows me what the rate that's being paid for this service is. Now remember that an authorization is created so that a provider can deliver service to an individual and then bill for it. So that's something else we can see here is each billing created against this authorization. Moving down a little further, I can click the Service Delivered section. And this shows me every service delivered billing entry that has been billed against this authorization. It displays details like when the shift started and ended, and also the status of the SD itself. For any SDs that are in approved status, it will show a claim ICN number if that SD is part of a paid claim. And looking at it this way helps us to see how these different things are related in Express. We have the authorization that gets created, then the provider creates billings against that authorization, and those billings get put into claims. Now a claim can have many service delivered billing entries as part of it. We can see that here with all of these service delivered billing entries having the same claim ICN number. And you can see that this is a hyperlink. Let's open it up and take a look at what's inside. Here on the claim view page, I can see a lot of information. Much of it is similar to what was on the previous page. I see the individual's information, the provider's information. I can see the rate as well. But there is some additional information, such as the billed units field, where it shows the total amount of service that's part of this claim that's being billed for. Also the paid amount field, which shows the total amount paid for this claim, and then the net payment field, which shows what the provider actually received after any client liability or provider liability deductions. In this case, there aren't any liabilities, so the net payment is the full amount. Scrolling down a little bit further, I can also see another section here, Service Delivered, and when I click that, I see each of the service delivered billing entries that are part of this claim. Now just like those service delivered billing entries have to be in approved status before they can be put into a claim, the same is true for the claim itself. Payment is only sent once the claim itself reaches approved status, and then it's processed for payment to the provider. So this is the full cycle of service billing. The case management entity creates prior authorizations. The provider delivers the service and bills against those prior authorizations. Once the billings reach approved status, they're put into a claim, and then once that claim reaches approved status, the provider is paid.